All right, welcome to another episode of the Guitar Talk series. All right, in this episode, I want to talk about an idea that I kind of learned for myself, and I call this the Pentamodes. I'm not sure if that's what it's properly called or if there's a name for it, but basically the concept is taking a pentatonic scale like this, and for some reason I want to do this. So pentatonic scales are like 2 notes per string normally, but when I get to the A string, I always shift to the previous position. So I've seen a lot of guitarists do that as well. And I think the reason is because by doing that, we have an additional position to play, and it's easy. Like, it's the same pentatonic box index ring pattern. It's easy to remember and easy to play. You know, as guitarists as well, that's why we love the pentatonic scale, because it's easy. It's easy to remember, easy to play. But you can always play the one position. You can do that, no problem. And the concept is taking that basic shape and altering the scale very slightly, altering it slightly in order for us to play a different sound or achieve a different sound, but play it the same way because it's basically just the same shape or very close to the pentatonic scale. So a very good example, the first one that I discovered, is by playing, instead of the minor third, but playing in the major third and keeping the rest of the pentatonic scale the same. So instead of playing this, the minor third is this. So instead of playing the minor third, we play the major third. And by doing that, we achieve a kind of a mixolydian sound or a dominant 7 sound, because technically we're applying or playing or outlining the dominant 7 arpeggio, which is the root, major third, fifth, and the flat 7 with a sharp, not a sharp 4, with a 4th interval. And we get this completely different sound, but you know, it's not far from the pentatonic scale. It's just a very slightly altered version of it. So instead of playing, we just play the major third instead of the minor third. So, and so the idea is altering the pentatonic scale to achieve a different sound, but being able to play it the same way, because basically the distribution of the notes, the picking is the same. So you can also play the same licks. So for example, if you're used to playing something like that, like a pentatonic lick, you can apply that to the mixolydian pentatonic shape, which is so the same licks, played the same way, easy to memorize, but achieving a different sound. So having learned that, I applied that to the different modes. So I examined it further and I asked myself, what else can I achieve with this concept? So with the dominant 7 or the mixolydian shape, if we take a closer look, we can alter it again using the 7th interval. So instead of playing the minor 7 or the flat 7, which is this note, we can play the major 7 by shifting it 1 fret higher and be able to play a major 7 version of that pentatonic scale, or if you're familiar with your modes, it's the Ionian mode. So instead of playing this, we're just gonna sharp or increase the move it to 1 fret higher to play major 7 instead of a flat 7, and the third, instead of a flat third, play a major third. So instead of playing this, we play. And once again, it's so easy to memorize, it's so easy to play, it's symmetrical. And once again, we can play the same lick. So play the same licks, play the same way as you would a pentatonic scale, but by altering it ever so slightly, we get a different sound. So from a Mixolydian sound, we are now able to play an Ionian sound, or a major 7 sound. Major 7, but playing the pentatonic licks. And we can even go further and play one more major mode, which is the Lydian mode. So if we take the major 7 pentatonic shape, or the Ionian shape, this one, and once again, if you're familiar with your modes, we can just take the 4th interval and play a sharp 4 and keeping the rest the same. So major 7, root, major 3rd, but instead of playing the 4, we sharp 4. So we are able to play those different sounds, but not really hurting our brain thinking about different shapes, because we're just slightly altering the shape of the pentatonic scale. So it requires a little bit of thought, but not so much. So and you're able to play the same pentatonic licks. So those are 3 additional major modes that we stem from the pentatonic scale. So let's take a look at the minor modes. So for the minor modes, in my experience, I don't really alter the notes. So because if you're gonna play Dorian, what you can do is play, instead of the flat 7, you play the major 6. So instead of playing this, we play. You can do that, you can alter it that way. But for me, I prefer it. This is just my preference. I just play the entire pentatonic scale. So all the 5 notes of the pentatonic scale. But play, or just add that major 6th to get a Dorian sound. So we are playing 6 notes now. So from the pentatonic scale, the basic minor pentatonic scale, we just add that major 6. You get a Dorian sound. So that's what we can do with the Dorian. And for the next minor mode, which is Phrygian, I don't know with you guys, but for me, if you're gonna play Phrygian, might as well be dominant. So the easiest thing that we can do to get that sound is to go back to the Mixolydian shape, which is the major 3rd with a flat 7, but adding the flat 2 on top of that. So that's your Phrygian dominant sound. So we have the 6 modes now, and if you want to play a Locrian, so it's just a flat 2 with a flat 5, so you can do that as well. But I don't really use that. You use the Locrian mode that much. So, but if you want to play it, you can. So just adding notes on top of that. But in that case, that you're already playing a diatonic scale. But you can think of it that way to make it easier for you. So just a quick review, you can always play all the modes, but stemming it from the pentatonic scale to make it easier for our brains to like memorize it. So pentatonic scale. Altering the notes to get, altering the third to get a Mixolydian scale. Altering the seventh and the third to get an Ionian mode. And from there, altering the four to a sharp four to get a Lydian mode, and going back to the pentatonic scale and adding the major sixth to get a Dorian mode, and going back to the Mixolydian mode and adding the flat two to get a Phrygian dominant mode. So that is the Pentamode. So I hope I'm explaining it well, and yeah, try it out for yourself and if it works for your playing.